I don't think there's anyone that has powers to close down Operation Dudula. And we have a lot of hijacking of properties in and around
who it is
and in townships.
Zandy Dabula,
but
Operation
the
Dudula.
government is not addressing that. That's the same reason why we're going to appeal, because we want to continue. Our main aim is to make sure that we live in a safe South Africa with law-abiding citizens.
That's right. We're
fighting against illegality, whether it's done by foreigners or whether it's done by South Africans. We're just fighting illegality. And unfortunately, illegal immigration is just one at the top.
You are the judgment about us, without us.
My goddess.
So far, please do me a huge favor and hit the like button and subscribe. These videos take quite a long time to make, so if you could help me out, I'll love you forever. Thank you all for your support. Now let's get back to this crazy story.
Now, this is the penultimate number and it's number 2. At number 2, I present to you KwekuAfrica. Wow! This guy has a thunderous voice. Like, when he speaks, you wanna listen. I've been able to watch a couple of his videos and I sincerely will tell you that it makes great impression in whatever content he's going to present. Thank you so much, Mr. Kweku. Keep up the good work.
So guys, Operation Dudula has finally spoken after the March talk about order which was put on Operation Dudula. Now, if you had followed the channel, I've done a video of, the Gauteng High Court giving specific order and interdicting Operation Dudula, including Zandy Dabula, including one other guy, and a number of people. Now, looking at the verdict, what it means is that Operation Dudula is finally shut down. They are shut off the system because they are not supposed to the order, watch the video and know the order, because there's plenty. Now, Operation Dudula called for a press conference. So, it was actually, I thought it was going to be a press release, but they said, no, we're actually calling for a press conference. When I saw the invitation, I was like, wow. Operation Dudula press briefing. Operation Dudula invites all members of the media to attend a press briefing where the organization will address the recent Johannesburg High Court judgment, outline its intentions, and reaffirm its commitment to saving the country. So, the briefing will also highlight Operation Dudula's ongoing effort to promote lawful citizen participation in supporting law enforcement and protecting national sovereignty, the concern observed for verdict in favor of cases where immigrants are concerned. So, I was lucky because I almost missed this. The time when I checked, it has not started. Then later I forgot and I just realized they had finished the press conference, but I'm going to break it down to you. So the press conference had 3 thematic areas. Operation Dudula spoke about 3 thematic areas. Now, number 1 is that they started by saying that Operation Dudula is bigger than everyone and that nobody can shut down Operation Dudula. And that's why they are going for appeal to ensure that, an appreciable verdict is given out,
which is bigger than all of us. And it was born on frustration of ordinary citizens who have been left out for a very long time. At least citizens have found a home where they could say their frustration and how they feel and be on the ground on a daily basis. I don't think there's anyone that has powers to close down Operation Dudula. That's the same reason why we're going to appeal, because we want to continue. Our main aim is to make sure that we live in a safe South Africa and a with law-abiding citizens. We're fighting against illegality, whether it's done by foreigners or whether it's done by South Africans. We're just fighting illegality, and unfortunately, illegal immigration is just one at the top.
So that's the first part. Then Zandy Dabula comes to tell us that Operation Dudula is not all about illegal immigrants. In fact, they've been fighting a number of things in South Africa. Notable among them is drug peddling, which she singled out Nigerians for drug peddling. As for Nigerians, I don't know what they've done to Operation Dudula in South Africa. Hey, Nigerians, they don't like you. So they singled out them, and then they also singled out, I think, the Malawians, right? The Malawians, and I mean, snake biting, and people who are stealing, and I mean, people, I mean, a whole lot of stuff. She's saying that they are fighting all of these things in South Africa. So it's not only illegal immigrants. That is just one phase, but there are a number of things that they are also working on. So that's the first part of, I mean, the release, the press conference. The second part, she spoke about health facilities. So you know that recently they've also been preventing foreigners from accessing healthcare in South Africa. They will ask you to go back or go to a private hospital. They've kicked a number of foreigners out of the hospitals to the extent that they even, I mean, they will keep security guards at the hospitals to prevent foreigners from entering. So that one too, the verdict was very specific that they should not police there. In fact, they're not supposed to police the hospitals. So that one too, they spoke about the health facilities. And with respect to that too, they are saying that they can't stop patrolling the hospitals because foreigners continue to steal drugs from the hospitals. And recently, I mean, there was a bust which was, I mean, as a car which was, I mean, going to Zimbabwe that had an accident, and a lot of stolen goods, stolen medications from South Africa, AVS and ARS, I don't know which one. They were all say at the accident scene. So that shows that foreigners are still stealing medicine from South Africa, and that's the reason why they can't stop. And again, I mean, their aged population, they keep, I mean, forming long queues, and they can't, I mean, get their pills and all of that. And so they are not going to stop patrolling the hospitals. And that is the reason why they are going to file for an appeal. And I mean, the time of the appeal, they think will give them a waiting room for them to still continue to, I mean, go on with their normal duties before the next sitting.
The issue of health facilities. Now, there's an order that we must stop protecting our public facilities. When it was evident, we've seen it, how many times the police have busted vehicles going to Zimbabwe with medicine, stolen medicine. Just now, the recent one, did we lose people in that accident? Was it the one that we lost about 40 people? About 40 people died in that car accident, and you know, may their souls rest in peace. But medicine were found there, ARV were found there. But the government, what they can just tell us is that there's going to be investigations. How many times have we warned the government that our medication is stolen from our facilities? And I'm not saying that none of our own South Africans are involved, because chances are they're also getting it from, you know, some South Africans that are working in those facilities. But we know for a fact that they collect medication from different healthcare facilities and go and sell them back home. So we're not just talking, we're not just making noise, we're raising real issues here. There probably needed to be some mediation and not just a judgment that will tell us to stop all these operations, because if we stop, then most South Africans will suffer. Because if we stop, we'll have more kids who will not have schools, who will not be in school classes, we'll have more people without medication, we'll still have our old grannies queuing long, standing in long queues just to get medication. We'll still have our own South Africans dying, waiting for their cancer treatment. So it cannot be correct. Our way forward too is that we're going to continue with our operations. That's the reason why we're going to appeal, because when we appeal, it's going to set aside the judgment, and we continue until the next set down.
And so that's the next one. And the final one she spoke about was the housing. Now there she also revealed that a number of people are hijacking buildings in South Africa. Building from the aged, from the old people, retired magistrate, retired police personnel, retired teachers. Some people, foreigners, Somalians, and that one, she didn't leave Nigerians out. Hey, Nigerians. They go around and they are hijacking buildings. So you go to the towns of South Africa, they will tell that some buildings are owned by a Somalian and Nigerian. But in reality, these people are gangs who are hijacking buildings from these old people. So that one too, they can't stop. Then she tackled the actual court case, saying that there was a cost element to it, which they are not ready to pay apparently because they were not represented. Even though they were served, they believe that there were some technicalities. And as a result of that, they couldn't represent at the courts, and so they're not ready to pay for any cost fines. In fact, they are going for appeal, and then they appeal to the court to give them a fair hearing because they believe that everybody should be heard before a judgment is being passed. And so, I mean, they find it problematic that, they were not heard, but still a conclusion was, brought to the case. So they are going to appeal.
It is also, in terms of the Constitution, Section 35, subsection 3 of the Constitution gives every person that appears in any court the right to representation. You would remember during the hearing itself, Operation Dudula was not represented. Regardless of the circumstances that surround the issue why Operation Dudula did not have the legal representation in court, but the Constitution still enforces the judge to give the opportunity to the person appearing before him, to give him an opportunity to have a legal representation. All of that was thrown out. So that would form basis of our argument in terms of the appeal.
I'm sure everybody must be aware that this judgment, as my colleagues have said, it was a judgment about us, without us.
So that is the summary of the entire press conference that Operation Dudula held. So after watching and listening to the summary of the whole press conference, what do you think and what do you make of it? Leave your comment in the comment section. Do you think they are supposed to be heard again? Or you think it is what it is? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My name is KwekuAfrica. It's a wrap today. If you have not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe and join this wonderful family. It's a wrap for today.